Hey guys, it's Alyssa in editing, and I just want to say I apologize for the popping in my microphone. Apologize in advance. Um, you can still hear me and follow along, but I tried my best in post editing to fix it. Hello guys, it's your girl Alyssa here. It's been a minute, but welcome to my new channel, Alyssa After Dark. And today I kind of wanted to talk about a film I recently watched, and that is Mufasa, The Lion King. And I have some thoughts. So let's get into it. After watching Mufasa, The Lion King, I felt it would be a great idea to make a video so that I didn't feel robbed of so much time. The movie itself was alright. I liked it more than the first live action remake, but the songs definitely failed to add character and emotion to the story. In general, they were just bad songs. The story itself did stick with me, but not in the way that Disney intended. What kind of stuck with me the most was how Scar is the problem. Contrary to recent narratives trying to be painted of Mufasa, of him being the villain, I definitely think that Scar is annoying. So that's why this video is in defense of Mufasa. I think much of the strife between Scar and Mufasa in context to this film is one-sided and should be reevaluated. Given the context of the original Lion King movie and the newly released Mufasa, The Lion King, in this video I'm going to be arguing that Mufasa is not the bad guy and that he was actually destined to be a king. So Mufasa is not a bad lion. Is he the best? No. Maybe. But honestly, who is? I mean, every lion, whether they are real or animated, is not innocent. Okay? Jealousy, betrayal, and revenge take place in every corner of the animal kingdom. We have to acknowledge where Scar's resentment comes from. A lioness. And just like most human men, Scar did not calculate Sarabi's free will and her choice of which male lion she wanted to be with, okay? I would argue that Mufasa did not steal Scar's girlfriend. They were never a thing. She never chose him back, okay? Because of this, Scar goes even further and decides to pin everything else that went wrong in his life on Mufasa, like the death of his father and the chance of him becoming a king. So, I'll cut Scar some slack. Mufasa knew Scar wanted Sarabi, and, Mufasa did refuse her advances. Hello? Sorry, let me go back. I'll cut Scar some slack. Mufasa knew that Scar wanted Sarabi, and Mufasa did refuse Sarabi's advances. But eventually he gave in. I'm not saying Scar isn't justified in his anger, but Scar, he chose to stay that way, right? Our introduction to him as kids is this bitter, scarred up, dark-haired lion who is jealous of his little nephew, who was just born on his way up, okay? He did not need to live alone in his bitterness. He didn't have to make amends with Mufasa, but Africa is too vast for him to make excuses on why he didn't get up and leave and create his own tribe. He stayed and ruminated on the past, killed his brother, tried to kill his nephew, and tried to force himself onto the Pride Lands as their king, and he still failed. Okay? He never established even half of the greatness that Mufasa did, alright? Let's be honest. Though Scar would eventually end Mufasa's life, Mufasa's impact was already made, and Simba would further this impact, thus fulfilling the cycle of life and bringing back balance to the Pride Lands. Scar in the grand scheme of things was really only hurting himself, and in the end he met a similar fate to Mufasa. Kind of ironic. So within my argument, I think we also have to call into question royalty and being a king. Scar simply just doesn't have the stuff that makes him a king. Only blood, and blood only took him so far compared to Mufasa. Mufasa had the acceptance of the animal kingdom, something that he earned, something that he wasn't born into and told that he deserved, okay? And though Scar was born as royal, that comes with being raised with disadvantages like entitlement, a lack of skills, a disconnection from the people, and high expectations of what you think your birthright is, right? And all of those things really stunted him. You know, in simple terms, Scar did not make it out the mud compared to Mufasa, who was born as a dandelion child, okay? Like, come on. He was raised to have hope, you know, to overcome, to know that there was more beyond. Mufasa was taught confidence in himself, you know, not confidence in a title. And Scar is just selfish, like his father, okay? I know this is a lot of spoilers right now, but Scar did not care about maintaining the Pride Lands. He did not care for the responsibility, or at least to find the wisdom in the Pride Lands, you know, in being a king. He just wanted power, and he was greedy. And like, the funny thing about greed is that even once you get what you want, it's never enough, which is why Scar ends up bankrupt in character, you know, in support of other animals and even in his physical domain, okay? Then again, had nothing by the end of it, like nothing. Scar's privilege didn't give him much character development, and to be fair, it's not that he didn't seek it. You know, he simply just slipped back into his mindset that everything would serve him. You know, in the film, you can see that his father didn't teach him much about being a male lion either, other than being lazy and letting the women do the work until the male lion showed up attempting to dominate the area that, you know, Scar's, his dad's Pride Land, whatever, his dad's tribe, I don't know. they just had an area and these lions pulled up and they had to defend it, but they couldn't defend it because they were just playing pretend men, you know? Anyway. And then, so the funny thing is that like Mufasa is adopted into Scar's family, and Mufasa being shoved towards the lionesses was a blessing. He discovered this gift that he had. It was like a heightened sense of smell. It was crazy. You just gotta watch the film to understand what I'm saying, because it's like a heightened sense of smell. That doesn't sound that much of a crazy gift, but like in the film, it was kind of cool. You know, he could literally smell anything and like its age and like what it last ate. Like it was kind of cool, you know. But anyway, so you know, with that, you know, we have to acknowledge that Scar did save Mufasa as a child from drowning, but Mufasa would repay this favor throughout his young adult life, also standing by Scar and protecting him, Scar's mother, and the pride throughout the movie. Like, did Mufasa really steal Scar's throne? No. I wouldn't say Mufasa even destiny swapped with him. In the movie, Mufasa's parents are already in the Pride Lands waiting for him to come and be king. And the animals already knew of him when he did arrive into the Pride Lands. You know, this could have happened without Scar and Mufasa ever meeting. As long as Mufasa survived in some way or another as a child and kept his search for the Pride Lands and eventually made it, he still would have been king. Like, come on. So, in conclusion, this is what I kind of think everyone should take away from the film, you know, even if you don't agree with me, is that, number one, some people are chosen, okay? In my opinion, everyone is chosen in some way, but there are times when others around you whose journey might look different, may even feel like they're stealing your story. Just reevaluate and make sure this isn't the case, you know, and know that your story can't be stolen. you make your story, okay? Or you let God make your story. And sometimes that can look like watching other people rise, and it might feel like you're stuck or stagnant, that you're not blessed, and that's not the truth. So keep looking to yourself and for actions and that you can prevent from becoming stagnant and like just wallowing in bitterness. Just don't be Scar. Could have had it all too. He just I already said my argument. Okay, number 2 is know where to place blame. Okay, every party has a role in certain dynamics, but that doesn't mean every party is to blame, right? Or shares at least as much blame as other parties. Okay, Simba is blamed by Scar for everything, even Scar's inaction to did I say Simba? I meant Mufasa. Mufasa is blamed by Scar, okay, for everything, even Scar's inaction to make a better life for himself, okay? No. At a certain point, you can't keep blaming the people over there, okay? Like, even if it keeps hurting you forever, at least level up for yourself. Do it for yourself, And then number 3, lesson number 3. When you're chosen, you need to rise above every time, okay? Just like Mufasa, when you are chosen, there are people who will think you don't deserve what you have, people who will see you as a threat and feel like, that they don't want to acknowledge your greatness. Like, they want to treat it like it doesn't exist, okay? BS, okay? I can't curse too much, but it's bull. Okay, rise above these people and stay away from them. Stay focused, okay? This is actually something like a big problem that I had for a while, at this job that I have. And now that I'm a bit older and, I'm navigating a bit more, like, these people brought me down to a place. They tore me down for how I dressed, even when I was looking good, for my attitude, for just trying to be positive, just even trying to be in these people's lives. And instead of trying, I should have rose above, and that's exactly what I did and what I'm currently doing. And I promise you, it's always worth it, even if it is lonely for a little bit. But yeah, so that's my argument. That's my defense of Mufasa. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're all on Scar's side. That's fine, I guess. I just, I know where you're at, and I know you won't be around me if you think that Scar's behavior, especially at least at a certain point, it's acceptable. Absolutely not. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this new channel is a vibe. It's very different from my main channel, which is more so about it's a bit more intellectual, and I wanted this to kind of just be fun, something where you can grab popcorn and grab a nice cold drink and kind of just listen, something maybe a bit more silly, or just things relating more to just pop culture. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know everything that you're thinking in the comments, and thank you so much. Bye.